Hello Capricorn! Welcome to your reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading, Capricorn, is you. And here's a 5 of discs. Let's put that into some context, shall we? We're going to use, oh, they're jumping out of the deck today. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I do this, I'd also like to say that if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Finishing up Path of the Serpent here. Okay. All right. This is going to work. This is going to work. Stick with me. We're going to do a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use Rider-Waite-Smith. And this is the card that we're going to just set aside. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading. Put the frog on top. And hopefully that will, you know, tie everything together and, well, give us the confirmation that we need at the end. So, what do we have? Well, we've got major, major, major over here on the Path of the Serpent. So I think that whatever's going on the Path of the Dove, and yes, I know we've got air energy again. Right, we do. We even have an air court card. We even have a Queen of Swords. But I think this is good. Okay, I think it's leading to really positive things. We see the 6 of discs in the immediate future. We see the Sun card, the Wheel of Fortune. Right? But we also see some of these challenges. We have this Tower energy here. We have this 8 of Cups over here. So it's like Tower and then Fortune. And then 8 of Cups and then Sunshine. So it's kind of like we have to get over this stuff in order to really fully become who we are, right? To fully embrace our destiny, our success, whatever success looks like for you. But to start with, we've got this 5 of discs. I think maybe you're not sure where to go in your life right now. I think that you're someone that has always been involved in something. You've always had a routine. You've always had something to go do. Whether it was work, a career, whether it was school, whether it was family, whether it was at the home, whether it was something outdoors, something with friends. I feel like you always have had a structure, you know? I feel like you're somebody who likes to kind of know what's going on day to day. And this 5 of discs is uncertainty. This is an inability to predict how the day is going to go, you know? I think what you have thought was the routine, the kind of established rhythm of your life, now seems like it's a little bit unpredictable, a little bit confusing at times, a little bit uncertain. There are too many variables. There are too many kind of chance events that are going to change the course of your day. That you're finding an inability to really control all of it, you know? You want everything to be predictable according to your own predictions. So it's difficult when things are happening, other people are making decisions or choices that affect you. And it throws your whole day kind of out of whack, you know. And that's kind of what we see in the past with these past energies, with the 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords, with the 5 of discs. It's all leading, this air energy is leading to you having this feeling that nothing is stable beneath your feet, that the ground is kind of shifting, you know, that things are changing, and you want to be the one to dictate how they're changing and what they're changing into. It's your life. It's your future. It should be according to your will, right? So I want to know who this air sign person is that is, they seem to be making decisions that I don't know if you're being consulted about these decisions or if they're making decisions for the business or for the home, maybe a family member or a friend. They're making decisions that affect you, and you're kind of questioning their clarity a little bit, right? The Queen of Swords can sometimes be clouded by their emotions, by their sentimentality, their sense of nostalgia, by just how they kind of feel and what they value in the moment. Okay. Usually the Queen of Swords has a lot of clarity, has these emotions under control. So there's also this aspect of, do we need to just accept that this person knows what they're doing? That's a question that we can ask. It's possible. It's possible they've got everything figured out and they know what's best for everyone. That doesn't change the fact that you, for some reason, aren't vibing with this person and with the choices that they're making and the decisions that they're making. Okay, because it affects you. It affects this, specifically this 5 of discs, right? It affects your physical, I almost said infects. Maybe it does kind of infect it. The 5 of Swords that we see up above everything, that kind of looks like an infection, right? Not to be gross or morbid. But it kind of seems like you're taking this a little bit personally, you know. It seems like this person, whoever this, they may be an air sign, they may not be an air sign, right? Maybe they're Gemini, maybe they're a Libra or Aquarius, I don't know. But the air aspect, I think, is their decision-making process. They think that they're making all the right decisions and that they're unbiased and clear, that they have that clarity. I can't speak today because of all this Swords energy. They feel like they're unbiased and that they have the clarity to make the decisions, but what you're noticing is that they're basing their decisions on these kind of fleeting emotions and valuations. Okay. And I feel like the struggle right now is to find a way to either deal with this, to accept that they're going to make their own decisions, and then you have to maybe fortify yourself, fortify your life in order to not be so affected by their decisions. But right now you're looking at this 5, and this 5 is either saying that you need to somehow defeat this person, battle them, and remove them, usurp their position, get them out of that position of power so they cannot make decisions for you, for your life or for your future. Or you need to try to form an alliance with them, right? So that you can have a say, that you can influence their decisions so that your future is how you want it. Your future is yours. So the thing with the 5 of Swords is that it can really go either way. Neither way is really the best way. Neither way really is perfect. It's not, we don't want, it looks pretty bad either way we turn the card, right? But this, to me, feels like what you're thinking about. This is like the 2 choices that you seem to have in front of you. Either remove them or form an alliance with them. Either way, you're taking back a little bit of control, right? I feel like in the past, you've tried to be reasonable. Here's the 7 of Swords. You've tried to talk to this person and be honest, right? Not with any kind of subtlety or craft or any kind of agenda or plan, but just to be real and be honest with them. And I feel like they were very resistant to that. They just didn't want to hear it, The 7 of Swords is a really dense mind sometimes. Somebody that isn't going to let conflicting information into their mind, into their consciousness. Sometimes that's a good thing. But in this case, I don't feel like it's not accomplishing what you want it to accomplish, because this person, again, they feel like they are up here, kind of in the clouds, doing the right thing, making decisions, calling the shots with such clarity and insight, but really they're in the clouds. Their vision is clouded, right? So this is, I think, the obstacle. And damn it, Capricorn, if Every other week there's an air issue in your life, you know? And I really think it's because you're such an ambitious person, because you have such a will and a drive and a desire and a creativity, and you have such confidence in yourself. And I feel like the universe has confidence in you, that Spirit is really trying to grow you, mold you into your absolute utmost potential by giving you these little challenges, seems like every other week, right? To foster this tremendous growth. Now, I think that if you weren't capable of such great things, if you weren't capable of such achievement and such success, such lofty heights of attainment, Spirit wouldn't be putting so much effort into testing you, right? Into fostering this growth, into challenging you to always be improving and expanding and pushing forward, right? Because what we see forward is this 6 of discs. This is material success. This is you being able to have the future that you want through this situation. Now, all this situation is kind of coming to a head in this person, this maybe an air sign person. We'll call it the air sign person because, you know, for convenience sake. But the future really is about your success, right? The configuration of energies in your life, how you will them to be. Okay, 6 of discs, right? And the 6 of discs, we know that this is the best future imaginable, unbelievable. It's so bright and so brilliant that it's kind of blinding, right? We can't really see exactly what this is going to look like because it's so lustrous, it's so illumined that it's a light that's a little bit too bright for us. You know, we can't stare directly into this because it'll blind us, right? Not good for us. So we kind of have to look at it sideways, or we kind of have to think, okay, I know that's where I'm going. I don't know exactly what it looks like yet, but I'll see the road signs as I'm on my way. So that is still a little bit unclear, but we know it's going to be of your own making, of your own design. We know that it's going to be a full expression of what you will, right? But we don't know what it looks like yet. We do know that there's a sense of urgency to get there. This is that blinding light now that is being filtered through the moisture in the air, and it's kind of looking like this rainbow, you know? So some of this light from the future is appearing to you in different colors, different shades, different, you know, different colors of the rainbow, basically. So you're getting little glimpses of what this could look like. You're getting, maybe these are the road signs. Maybe these are the indications to you that you're getting close and you have to start driving faster, right? There's this sense of urgency. There's this hurried energy to get here and to get past this air energy, because really we're trying to turn this 5 of discs into the 6 of discs. Okay, we're trying to take what is in disharmony, in disarray, and create harmony in this array of planetary energy, this array of successful components of your life, okay? But this damn pesky air sign person, I knew it. When I sat down to do this reading, I just said to myself, I said, self, how much do you want to bet that there's going to be some pesky air sign? And sure enough. So maybe I willed it into existence. I don't think so. But there is a sense of urgency to get through this issue. Okay, and I think it's because you're starting to see the light from your future kind of break up into these different colors, and it's just giving you a little bit of anxiety, right? Now, that doesn't mean that the future ideal, the future state, the success in your life is kind of starting to fall apart or crumble, or that, you know, it's like in Back to the Future. Marty looks at the picture of his family or whatever, and people are slowly being erased, right? And then Doc Brown says, erased from existence. I don't think that's quite it. I don't think the rainbow is your future falling apart. I think it's you catching little glimpses from different angles of that future and that creates this sense of anxiety to hurry the heck up and get there, you know, because this issue here is making it seem like the future's really unstable, really uncertain, that things could start falling apart, right? But I don't know if this is a work thing or career, if it's some kind of organization that you're involved with. It could be a family thing. But whatever it is, there's this one person that's making the choices that affect you, okay? I don't know if they're supposed to be doing that, if they're the boss, if they're the head of the family, or if they're just the head of your department, or if it's just a coworker that has kind of decided to take things into their own hands, something along those lines. But Tower energy coming next. This sense of urgency, this sense of, I got to hurry up and get this thing going and get out of this air thing, that sense of urgency is going to lead to action. It's going to lead to a very abrupt change in circumstances, okay? And this is not always exactly what you expect it to be. So I'm kind of worried here that with all this haste, all of this anxiety and this sense of kind of frenzy, that it might lead to something impulsive, you know. So what I really would have liked to see is like an 8 of discs or something that shows that we're kind of slowing down. So I think this card is here to say, look, we need to get out of this situation. Okay, the Tower energy is about, well, escaping from this tower. But we also don't want to blow the whole thing up. You know, we can't escape from the tower by blowing ourselves out of it, right? Because then we're gone, the tower's gone. Yeah, we're free, but we're also in tiny little pieces. So we don't want to do that. So I think this card is here to say, hey, look, this pressure is building. We have to, you know, try to kind of relieve it in a different way so that it doesn't build up into this explosive kind of thing. And there's not much of a suggestion on how to do that. I don't know if this rotating 5 of Swords is the answer, but I do know that around you right now is a lot of spiritual energy. I feel like this is Jupiter that really has kind of taking you by the hand and saying, look, this is the fire that we have to go through. This is the difficulty that we need to walk through, and we can walk through it together to get to this great success. Okay? So I feel like Spirit is kind of guiding you. It's this, Jupiter's kind of this father type energy, this very paternal energy that is strict and stern and kind of like wants to teach you the right way to do things, you know, the way we did it in my day, but is also very generous and loving and says, look, we're going to go have this amazing future, this success, this abundance, this financial stability, this wealth, this health, this, you know, all of this blindingly brilliant future, but we're going to do it the right way, right? And I'm going to make sure that you learn the right way and that you learn all of the lessons along the way. And then as a kid, right, we're just thinking, oh man, I just want the toys at the end. I don't want to have to do all the work, you know. I don't want to have to learn to get there. But that's kind of the Jupiter energy in this situation. And I think what Jupiter is guiding you through are these fluctuating emotions, is the 8 of Cups. This is kind of like that 8 of Discs, right? The 8 of Discs is about paying attention to the details in this kind of the physical building of something, right? Being prudent, being meticulous, going slow, right? Paying attention, taking your time, not rushing. It really would be the perfect kind of counterbalance to this fire energy. But instead we have the water. So maybe the water is the more perfect counterbalance to this fire energy, okay? And since it's the 8, this is about giving form to some of these various emotions that we have, positive and negative. So maybe Jupiter is kind of walking you through this swamp, you know, to calm your fire down by observing our emotions, by processing them, by being aware of them and letting them go on to the next one, So it's kind of like the Eight of Cups, right? You're kind of tending your garden. You're paying attention to everyone so that the whole thing can grow. You know, the Eight of Discs is very agricultural. But this is a little bit more, you know, kind of hydroelectric, I guess. Because we've got this electricity, this energy with the Eight of Wands, right? Eight of Wands, Eight of Cups, fire, water. Giving form, paying attention to the details here that Jupiter is leading us through. And so it's kind of an introspective thing. It's kind of like, let's step out of this air energy for a moment. And let's turn our attention inward to see how we feel, why we feel the way we feel. I feel like I'm repeating myself with this. I think the last reading was sort of similar. But I really feel like that is the way that Spirit is trying to relieve some of this fire, some of this volcanic kind of pressure that could lead to bad results, impulsive behavior, right? Things that we might regret. Instead, we have to kind of just pay attention to how we feel and why we feel that way. Not judge ourselves for it, but just let it go, right? Be aware of it, acknowledge it, and let it go. The good and the bad. That's the key here with the Eight of Cups, is that it's the positive emotions and the negative emotions. Okay? It's the optimism, but it's also the pessimism. We have to be aware of both. And I think going through this creates kind of an equalization of pressure. And if we're able to equalize the fire and the water, right? Positive and negative, the outward and the inward, right? The two forms of energy, the magnetic and the dynamic, right? Gravity and, I don't know, whatever it is, momentum. What we get through that equilibrium is a perfect star, right? Because the star, any star, is really about the equilibrium, right? Gravity's trying to crush it. Its own nuclear processes are trying to blow it up, right? And the gravity and the nuclear force are kind of keeping things in equilibrium. It's not motionless. It's not peaceful and calm. It's always right on the verge of either collapsing or exploding. But there's a middle ground. There's an equalized pressure. If one thing gets tweaked a little bit, it's either going to crush or explode. Right? So it's not peaceful, it's not stagnant, it's not inactive, but it's equal pressure, right? It's equal, let's say, fire and water. So we're tempering ourselves a little bit so that we can re-enter this air energy and figure this thing out appropriately, how to deal with this person, what to do to manifest this really brilliant future that you have in front of you. And now I would like to do the mystery card. Because I'm curious, thank you, Frog. I'm curious what this might represent, if it's kind of a clue about how we deal with this air energy, or maybe what this future will be like. Let's find out. Well, there's the Eight. There's the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Discs that we were talking about. So we have 8, 8, 8. We have 8 here. We have 8 here, we've got 8 here. So I think that this, you know, this is pretty much a confirmation of what we've been talking about already. You know, the paying attention to the details, the finding the equalized pressure between the positive and negative forces, right, or active and magnetic forces, so that we can do what is absolutely necessary, do what is right, do what is strategic, do what is going to ensure the highest quality product at the end, right? And that's what the craftsperson is doing here, is they may feel under pressure, right? They have a deadline. They have to finish all of this intricate work for the customer. They have to hurry, hurry, hurry. But they also are trying to slow down. They're trying to invoke some of this water energy to equalize the pressure so that they can stay alert and stay focused and stay working on the details so everything comes out perfectly, right? so that they can achieve this ultimate success, this brilliant and blinding success, comes through the very diligent and careful work, even though internally he's like that sun card. He's got to balance the magnetic and the dynamic pressures. And that's kind of the way. He's not inactive. You don't balance those pressures by just not doing anything. It's an active equilibrium. Right? There's still a lot of motion, a lot of activity, a lot of frenzy and fury going on, but it's all kept contained in this star energy. And I think that's the way that you can achieve all of your goals. Right? The Sun card represents freedom. And I think when we have that equilibrium, that gives us an intense potential. That gives us the freedom to do what we will, to achieve the blinding and brilliant future that we want. Right? So that's freedom. But we have to get that balance. And these three, the 8s here, are very significant. I'd be on the lookout for a repetition of the number 8 in your life, just as we have here. Either 1, 2, or 3 in a series. It doesn't matter. But the repetition of that number, I think, will kind of give you some confirmations in the world around you that you're on the right track. Now we're going to do an extended Capricorn. If you want to stick around, please click on the link that's right here. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Capricorn, but for all of the zodiac signs. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Please hit the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, with your family, on social media, or whatever you can do. Really helps out the channel with the algorithm. And that seems to be very important these days. Anyway, I'm so honored. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again very soon.